So, The Last Guardian made an appearance at PGS this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But really...
Its first appearance in hell.
Right. It wasn't a playable demo or anything like that. Basically, they had a big jumbo screen with Trico, the big creature companion, in a cage. And that was pretty much it.
So, like, they got everybody excited about news, but there was not really.
Right. Well, that's how it's been
I mean,
for
it's
how
all
long?
about
That's the
hype.
definition of hype.
That's true. It's the definition
I guess
of hype.
it's
You got to keep it alive after so many years.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's so many years. That's the problem right there.
They're shooting for that Half-Life 3 sort of hype. Hey, I'm a believer.
Oh, well, you need to let that.
That'll be another
go.
special topic
Didn't we
video.
learn from what was the other one that
Duke
came out?
Nukem.
Duke Nukem. That's
Right.
it. Did we not learn anything?
Hey, I like Duke Nukem. It was like sort of a short roller coaster ride through all of the game genres ever since it was announced to when it actually came out. Because you got to see like the vehicles that finally came out, and then the way that they did different first-person shooter, like the cover base and then the free roaming.
Right.
It was the whole game was just like, oh, so that was all the things we've done in the past 4 or 5 years, like all the different kinds of games.
So
we've
it was
played.
like playing a highlight reel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a
Okay, that's. I mean,
It
if you
was.
want to market, maybe
For that
they should have
reason alone.
marketed it like that a little bit more, and I
Probably.
think people would have been
Because I'm sure
Maybe.
less
expectations were skewed
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
as to what they thought it was going to be.
right. And let's hope that's not what's going to happen to this, because I mean, if you hype something so much
At
and take too long,
this
I mean, that's
point,
what happens.
The hype up is up here.
Yeah.
How can you ever reach it?
You can, yeah,
So the
that bar
question
is really
is,
high.
how far in development for the PS3 did it get? And how much longer is it going to take to convert that over to PS4?
Yeah.
How many more years are we're going to have to wait before this game comes out? I mean, I'm happy that it's still alive. I did play Ico. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced appropriately, but I didn't play all the way through it. But I could see the draw to it. It was a very different, very unique game. The second one, I forget the name of it. I've got it too on the PS3, but I've not gotten around to play it. My memory's failing me right now, but I think it's of the same vein too. It was a very different kind of play style. So I'm happy to see they're still trying to do something with the Last Guardian.
I will say, I mean, even though it's been a couple of years, it going back to what we touched on in another video, it kind of goes back to that transparency issue too, with the studio just kind of letting you know.
Sorry.
But it's kind of nice that the studio is at least letting something come out and say, hey, we're still kind of working
still
on
alive.
this. It's still,
Right.
because a lot of games get announced and then you never hear about them again, and usually it's because they've killed it off, they're not going to do it, or it comes out like much later after new technology has come out, of course. But it's still nice when they are still working on it for them to at least do something, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, I'm happy that it's
Even
still
if it's
coming
just a
out.
picture.
All right, so the Xbox One is getting 2 exclusive JRPG titles for it.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I'm jealous.
I know, it's pretty exciting. It's gonna be pretty awesome.
You're jealous.
Yeah, I got a PS4.
Well, you better upgrade.
You got the-
It's time to upgrade.
What were those? What were the title of those JRPGs?
One of them is going to be Students of the Round 2, and the other one will be Stranger of Sword City. And now it sounds like the Stranger of Sword City is the one that's going to be coming out sooner, and it's going to be a little dungeon crawly. It almost made me sound, when I was thinking about it, of like Azure Dreams back for the PlayStation 1. If
Gotcha.
anybody played that one, monster hunting game where you collected eggs and had monsters with you. Dungeon crawler, like it was randomly generated every time you went into it. So that made me think of that, and that would be pretty awesome. And then the other one is a tactical RPG, which they referenced Shining Force. So
Yes.
that made the heart flutter a little,
still might be
because that
the
would be amazing.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had one like that. I mean, I guess you could kind of call XCOM sort of like that, but
Yeah.
Well, it's a tactical one, yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just fantasy.
But it didn't have the
tactics.
cast of characters that you actually
Right.
felt connected with.
right,
The
yes.
little portraits popping up and that little text sound. And everybody's text sound was different.
Mhm.
So you always, there wasn't that connection with your soldiers that you sent out to die.
When's that one due out?
The tactical one, they don't have solid dates yet. So it was Stranger of Sword City, that one will be out hopefully later this year, and then the Student of Round 2, which I don't know if they're Student of Round 1, but Student of Round 2 should be in 2017.
Okay.
What is that one? Did you?
That's the dungeon
that's
crawler.
The
the
dungeon
one.
crawler.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
GTA 5,
Ugh.
Rockstar. There's a lot of different things going on with them in this this game. So let's first talk about they recently added some events to free mode. Just recently, there was one where you could turn into a werewolf. So that's kind of cool. But people are everyone's aggravated because Rockstar has said basically we're not making any single player DLC. We're concentrating solely on multiplayer. And of course, everyone's like, well, that would be okay if you fixed the multiplayer, all the hacking that's happening in the multiplayer.
Well, but the hacking that's happening in the multiplayer, that's in the PC version.
Right.
You have to forget that there's also the console version that probably outstripped the amount of users that are playing on PC.
Yeah.
That's why they're not worried about it. It wouldn't make business sense.
But there's still hacking occurring on the console version.
No, it can't be to the same extent though, because how many people do you know hack their console games?
People on the consoles on GTA are just jerks and just camp outside your apartment and shoot you.
Right.
I mean,
Which,
that's the kind of crap you gotta watch on the console.
Right, as opposed to the hacking. So
But I mean,
it probably just doesn't make business sense to put the resources.
Like you shit on a platform like that? I mean, I know from a business point of view, why waste the money?
Right.
I'll say it's not the first time. There's been other companies that do that. But they put out games on certain platforms and then they just kind of leave them twisting in the wind, looking at you, overkill. So, Star. I mean, why? And the fact that they said no more heists and we're going to focus on multiplayer, but no more heists. So what multiplayer content are you focusing on then?
So more of this free mode stuff,
activities,
perhaps?
maybe different activities to do.
I'm sure frustrated a lot of people to hear about the heist thing because the heist was hyped for so long and delayed for so long, and then wasn't
they
up
cry
to
about it being
everybody's
too hard to
expectations. And now you've just completely dropped that.
Well, then they need to allow the community to create custom heists. Allow them.
Right.
Because wasn't that something that people thought was going to happen anyway?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Maybe on the on the PC version, it would be more likely, but still, I mean, there's a concern they're going to ban you because they've got some weird rules about who gets banned for what and who doesn't. So, some more news out of TGS 2015. Project Morphis renamed to PlayStation VR.
Oh, there's an unexpected name.
Right.
Woo, for originality.
You might have sold more if you'd left it Project Morpheus.
No shit. Like I like Project Natal. I still don't know about that.
Yeah, Project Natal. That was such a great name.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And
Except for
I did see some news about the pricing for this, and I didn't see any hard numbers, but they're touting it as not a gaming system on its own outright, but the pricing might be very similar to buying a PS4 or another console. I don't have the article in front of me, so
that's going to be hard to pull off when everybody is seeing it as a peripheral.
Right. Well, as I say, I think it's more of a video device or a display device, which I mean, some TVs can cost between $600-800. So I'm assuming that's what the price point is. Up
Virtual
there.
Boy, anybody?
Well, hopefully it works a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
And has a few more colors.
Yeah, then give
and
the
a few more
splitting
games to
migraine.
play.
that'll help too.
If you're gonna have that price up there, you better justify.
Well, we'll see what happens.
To use
I think how many did it have? 14 games.
The
Virtual Boy. It had I think it was.
Well, but I think that
15.
because they've proved with a lot of the new VR sets that a lot of the games that are out now are compatible. It's just a matter of tweaking a file and bam, there you go. Alien Isolation
because it's just two. I mean, it's two individual video screens being projected to your eyes that are separated to give that effect of 3D.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's no reason why I can't.
So I don't think that it'll suffer from the problem of not.
Okay, well then they might be all right. Because
I
I mean, if you look at it from being a monitor or a television versus just a peripheral, like a different type of controller or something.
And that is a better way to look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
There's a new Resident Evil Biohazard title coming out.
I did see
Umbrella
that
Corps.
trailer. Yeah.
I haven't played it.
It's basically a zombie shooter. That's what they're calling it. I haven't watched the video yet either.
Operation Raccoon City 2.0.
Which
I like that game, so I don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't, but
the Resident Evil title is getting. When I think Resident Evil, and it's going back to my nostalgia again, I want the survival horror, the scary walking.
Well, they're
down
making
the
the HD remakes.
Well,
but those
just
are
the same
PC.
thing.
I don't know if they're going to release those on consoles eventually.
I want new versions of these, new stories.
Gotcha.
Not
I don't want
just
new versions.
remakes.
Yeah, I want new stories.
right.
Yeah.
I got
Well,
you.
and that's something that I think that has plagued Resident Evil for a long time is that I think the story is played out. Like,
Well,
it's
you've got a very good point.
They
Yeah.
have done as much as they can with that story. Umbrella can only
Oh, I
do
mean, how
so
many times
much.
can Albert
like,
Wesker come back and be the bad guy?
well, no more. I mean, I think he's done and over with. Spoiler alert, but you
Yeah, but
know.
my thing is,
Right,
like,
true.
Umbrella is a huge corporation. It's a global setting.
Mhm.
There's no reason why we still can't find a house, hotel, something to be creeping around in, just trying to survive in that world.
Well, but they've blown it up too much. Because like
Yeah.
in the past 2 games, or even starting with 4, really, it's expanded from one location. Of course, I can't really say that because 3 was throughout the whole city too. You know, back on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should retool it a little bit. So instead of it being, Stars versus Umbrella, like it's always been, let's get something more centric to Stars. Let's take Stars into a different direction. They obviously got to tackle other assignments other than Umbrella, right? They get other requests, other jobs. So let's make a new adversary. Make it not the same zombie type, style.
Yeah, but then you're not Resident Evil anymore.
Right.
But Stars.
Now you've got a different IP going on.
But it
Yeah.
still
Or a
involves.
spin-off IP.
Well, that's
well,
fine.
because they tried that with Operation Raccoon
Yeah,
City.
that's true.
And
Yeah.
people did not like
So
it
they always
at
want
all.
the Umbrella. I mean, how?
It's a zombie
I know,
IP.
but
And you can't take the zombie out of that IP.
how
You
many
can't
times
do
you can
that.
ground it in the ground though?
Well,
I
if you
think
go
you can. The zombie genre, and even movies and television shows, has been redefined over decades. I mean, George Romero kind of started it all. It got redefined with Walking Dead. It got redefined with Shaun of the Dead. I mean, there are ways to be creative about the genre that
28
you could
days.
incorporate.
Don't forget the fast zombies.
Well, yeah. But there are ways to reinvigorate that franchise. I think if they would just stop and think about it instead of just trying to cater to what they think people want, just stick to what you're good at.
Bethesda is coming out early with talking about Fallout 4 and how they're going to handle the DLC. It will have a season pass for about $30. But some people have actually criticized that they're talking about their DLC plans already.
Everybody criticized everybody about that.
Yeah.
But I would have to agree with them.
Okay.
Although, because I don't trust season passes.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what you're paying for up
It's either
front.
real good or real bad.
Right.
It's like a grab bag.
Yeah, you could get 2 DLCs that they charge $6 for, and there's $12 that you paid $30 for, or they
Well,
could release
no.
8 DLCs.
No, I'll fight that point because usually most companies are pretty good about telling you what's going to be in the season pass whenever.
I will
you-
hold up. Oh shit! The name just slipped my mind. That new 5-person game where the one person plays the monster and it's 4.
Evolve.
That one where they had the season pass for this and the season pass for that, and then but these season passes don't actually include these DLCs.
I said
Now,
most.
right, and they are the shining example of how not to do it.
Absolutely.
And so I'm just pointing them
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Because yes,
I'll give you
everybody.
that.
Most of the time, you're absolutely right. They'll say, "Here's the season pass. This is exactly everything that we're gonna have, or only these, and not pre-order bonus DLC kind of thing."
Yeah.
So yes, normally they're very clear.
Yeah.
And I trust Bethesda. I still wouldn't. I'm still not gonna get it.
Yeah.
But I trust them to do the right thing.
A lot of times I won't get a season pass until everything has been out and released
So you know
because then I
exactly
can
what
see
you're getting.
see if it's even worth it or not.
True
you
that.
know, because you're gonna
because
get-
a lot of times, I mean, when some games have DLC, like if it's Gears or something like that, then yeah, I'll probably get all the DLC because you're going to have maps involved that I can
Sure.
play in. But when it comes to games that have, like, Bioshock, it had a multiplayer, and most of the DLC was for multiplayer stuff, so I didn't want to buy a season pass for half the stuff I'm not going to
Yeah,
play.
right.
I mean, I would have torn up the single-player stuff, but I'm not going to pay for only half of what I'm going to use. You know what I'm saying?
Though, I still think, I guess for some companies, being upfront about your DLC plans
Yeah.
is a good thing because I remember when Battlefield 4 was getting ready to come out and they talked about, okay, you're going to get these DLCs. That actually helped me to decide to go ahead and buy the season pass because in the end, I knew I was going to buy them
Yeah.
eventually. So if I
Right.
could save a little money up front by buying the season pass early,
Yeah, and I
then
think even Borderlands came out and said, "Oh, we're going to do this many."
I say
DLCs
Borderlands is one of the few
before the
season passes I did purchase.
Yeah, they're really good about announcing what they're going to have. But I think where people start to get upset is when you're announcing DLC content before the game comes out, is because at that point people are thinking, "We already have this content done.
okay.
So why
Why
isn't
is it
it
not in the game?"
included
Right.
with the game?" And I think that's probably why people are more upset, other than what is actually being included.
That's
Is the fact
exactly
that
Yeah.
There is that
yeah, because
concern.
I've seen that
Okay,
kind
yeah.
of flare up with the last few games that have announced DLC content before they've been released.
Absolutely.
But Bethesda has a pretty good track record, so I think
Yeah.
we could be okay
Yeah.
with them.
For now.
That's still
I mean,
For now.
That's
We-
still not going to stop people from screaming, "Why isn't this included?"
Right.
True.
Or at least
Right.
free. You know, because
Yeah.
like Splatoon for the Wii U is like that, to where it started out very bare bones, but every week they're adding new weapons or new maps or new game modes or whatever
Right.
it is, and it was already on the disc. All they're doing is unlocking it.
One, two, three, go!